John Severbeck, Jesper Olsen. Is I think Paul McGrath's maybe back training this week, you know, and I'm saying to myself, bloody hell, that's a good start. And maybe back training this week, you know, and I'm saying to myself, bloody hell, that's a good start. And then we got to the training ground. Brian Whitehurst was the reserve coach at the time, and Brian gave me a summary about who was fit and who was not fit.
When they went to Oxford, they did have a lot of injuries. There was players who were in play sometimes. I thought they were on a bad side actually, and I think our lads tended to think, oh, it's going to be a bit of
13,500 crowd squeezed the manor that day to see the start of a new United era. Crowd squeezed the manor that day to see the start of a new United era. The travelling Reds were packed into the Cuckoo Lane end, just about where those flats are now.
Obviously the M40 weren't there at that point, so that's the first thing I remember about it. We got there quite late, kick-off, but we were a bit early really, trying to get in there.
It all started at Oxford, in a sea of despair.
To be honest, we didn't see many Oxford fans because we parked up near the ground, walked down, it were all United fans on the road we were on, and then as you got nearer, like I said, we're in this ginnel.
He was always giving a stick out how easy it was going to be. In other matches over the years as well, and this was no different.
There was no optimism. Nobody really came out of that game looking forward to the rest of the season.
I mean, I can picture the back of the goal now at the top end. You know, the bank was absolutely of United.
Number 4 that day on the front of the programme as well. There's no change at all in the 26 years since. How keen were you Yellows to ruin Alex's big day?
Well, to be honest, we treated...
How keen were you Yellows to ruin Alex's big day?
Well, to be honest, we treated it like a normal game. Always said forget about all the attention that Sir Alex Ferguson was getting, and just play a normal game because a win was vital for us.
The Yellows, Oxford, had a good side in those days.
We had a great side. As I said, we won the Milk Cup before, the season before, and we had a strong team, and we were forced to be reckoned with.
Alex was surprised at who was sitting next to him.
He was a city coach driver in the 70s, larger-than-life coach driver from Finland's on Winslow Road. Ron liked everybody, and he liked Big Derek, the coach driver, and made him sit with the physio on the bench and be part of the team and carry the skips in with the boys. But of course, when Sir Alex came, the coach driver sitting on the bench listening to team talks and listening to tactics, which was not right for a coach driver to be in the changing room listening to tactics.
Del Boy was a fanatical Man City fan. He really was. And a big guy, but he could, you know, he could sort of muscle his way into places, and I found him terrific. Now I know after I left there was some sort of discussion and he wasn't on the bench, but I never found it a problem.
While Ron was the manager, he had like freedom in the dressing room, could come in when he wanted, go out when he wanted, come in when we came in at home that he had in them days. And I think that alarmed the boss, because the tease out for the players at half time.
Well, I gave him a ticket at half time. I says, do you go up at the stand? He said, well, I always send
the tease out for the players at half time.
Well, I gave him a ticket at half time. I says, do you go up at the stand? He said, well, I always sit on the bench. I said, well, no, you don't. You know, it's one of these situations that, you know, they get in the habit of doing something, you know, and then, you know, I didn't even know he was going to play the first half. You know, and then I come on in the second half and he's still sitting there. And I said, well, you got a ticket and go upstairs. You know, it was unbelievable.
Played Manchester City, and he picked us up, took us to the hotel for a match meal, brought us back, drove us to Main Road as it was then, and when we got off the coach, went straight up.
So here's the full lineup. Chris Turner in goal. Protecting him, his back 4. At right back, Mike Duxbury. Left back, United forward Arthur Albiston. The 2 central defenders, Graham Hogg and Kevin Moran. The midfield consisted of Paul McGrath, Remy Moses, Clayton Blackmore and Peter Barnes, and Peter Davenport. Jesper Olsen was substitute. He replaced McGrath late in the second half.
We were Manchester United going there, and we should have had enough about us to go there and get the result.